Hello there and welcome to video number 3 now everybody of the Garden Centre project that we're working through. The last thing we did was we just displayed the list box and the data grid view, and one thing I just wanted to continue with was the data grid view itself. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to populate some boxes when we click the data grid view. So in order to do that, like I just did then, if I go to my data grid view and I double click it, you'll get this cell content click. Okay, now we don't want that specifically, but what I want you to do is produce an event on the data grid view itself. So at the top of your program, if you go down here on all the objects that you've got, you'll find at the bottom data grid view. If you click that, we are looking for the cell click. And there it is, cell click. If you click that, you'll create data grid view 1 underscore cell click. So when I click a cell in my data grid view, it's going to action this code. Now what that means is it's going to allow me to do a few things here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new row instance. And I'm going to make it as data grid view row. Okay, so notice it changes its color. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to assign it the current position in my data grid view. So data grid view 1 dot current row. So give the row, which is of type data grid view row, give it my current position. All right, and then current record, the current record that I'm at, is a variable I made as a global variable before, row dot index plus 1. Now you might be thinking, John, what the hell is going on here, John? Well, what I'm doing is later on I need to keep track of where I am. So if I select the first thing in my data grid view, it will be at position 0. So if I add 1 to it, what that means is if I need to get back into my file at the position of what I'm looking at in my data grid view, then my current record will match the record location in the file. I hope you can understand that, but you will see it a little bit later on. Anyway, so in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called a try catch block. Okay, these are fantastic little saviors of code that will stop us making lots of mistakes. So if I put in there txt display product ID, yep. So they're my display boxes. So what I'm going to do is when I click the row here, I want you to go to the file and populate it here. Okay, so here I am. My txt display product.text box is given the value of whatever I'm clicking in my row dot cells at the position of 0. I'll show you what that is in just a second. So value dot toString, so convert it into a string for me. Same thing with txt display description dot text, and I'll say row, same thing, row dot cells at the position of 1 this time dot value dot toString. Okay, and what are these things? What's going on? Well, let's have a look. Display. Okay, so this is the ID, isn't it? Okay, this first column here is IDs. So txt display ID.text is given the value of the row I'm on at the cell position 0. So this is position 0. Well, display description must be at position 1 of the cell. And this must be position 2, position 3, and position 4. So these pieces of code here allow you to get the specific data from inside the specific cell. And that might be useful for you in your coursework somewhere. So I'll also say dim temp as string is given the value of row dot cells at the position 2 dot value dot to string. And why is this one different? Because remember I've got product ID, description, and now I've got the pound symbol because I formatted it before. So what I need to do is slice off the pound symbol. So where is the pound symbol? So that's from, let's think about it, that's from position 2 to the length of 5. And again, we're not dealing with zero-based index, which is annoying. So in order to slice a string, we'll use the mid command. So mid can allow you to slice up your string, and I'll pass in the information, which is the temp variable. So that passes in all of my price. Then I'm going to say, go to position 2. So start from there and go up to position 5. So slice off the pound symbol. So basically ignore 1. That's what it's doing, because in position 1 is my pound symbol. Then I can say txt display price dot text. Yep, temp. Oh, that was effort, wasn't it? Just to slice off 1 pound symbol. Anyway, txt display. This time it's the quantity dot text gets the value of. I'll tell you what. I'm bored of doing this. Let's just speed this up. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's 3, and the last one is txt display reorder. That one. Dot text. It's given the value of rows, this time at position 4. Okay? So those lines of code are all the same, apart from that ridiculous middle part that I did. So this will try to populate all those. If at any point it has any problems doing that, it will jump into this part and it will fail. Okay? So you could put a message in there if you wanted to. If it fails. Now I did the try catch block because when you're using this little cell click part here, sometimes if I click just one single cell, it will only have the information of that one single cell, so it will fail. That's why I use the try catch block. So I run this. Here we go. This is what it does. So I display my product, and if I click anywhere, any cell on any row, let's do the first one, click it, it populates all the information. And notice the price pound symbol's been taken off. Happy days. Here we go. Yep, good. Excellent. So I can click any cell on there and it won't fail, which is what the try catch is doing. Perfect. Okay, so let's have a look now at the find record and find product button, because they do very, very similar things. So what I'm going to do is create a simple search. And you can't get any more simple than a linear search. So I'll have my record number as an integer, local variable. Again, need a pointer. There's my pointer. And then I need to populate the record number. And I'll do that by saying record number is given the value of txt search record. So we're doing the record first, aren't we? Yes, txt. There we go. Okay. So I'll put that information in. So I've got the user's number that they've put in, pass it into there. So what I need to do now is say, if the record number is greater than 0 and the record number is less than or equal to the number of records in my file, it's valid. We are going to accept that. There's no point in searching if the criteria is invalid. So I'll say record number is greater than 0 and the record number is less than or equal to the number of records that I've got in my entire system, which I still think is 5. I don't think I've added any more whatsoever. Okay. So once I've done that, if I press enter after then, it should create the NDIF for me if all is good. We need to open the file. So I'm going to copy this again. I don't want to write this out anymore. Here we go. There's my file open. I'll say file get. And what specifically am I trying to get? I'll say one product. And I'll look at the record number. So what I'm going to do is this, because I've specified this third parameter, this is direct access. Okay, it takes me directly to the position in the file at that record number. What I'll do now is I'll display a single product. Oh, sure. Oh, I've got to do all this again. Okay, right. So display product ID dot text equals products. One product, sorry, dot product ID. I've got txt display description dot text equals one product dot description txt display price dot text equals product dot price display last one no it's not, it's quantity, isn't it? Quantity dot text is given one product dot quantity dot, yeah, it was, yeah. And I've got the final one. Thank goodness it's the final one. Now what I'm going to do is to stop this pain of ever having to do this again, I'm going to use a procedure to do this because I can't go through this again. Now what I will do is after the end sub, before the end class, I'll just write private sub display one product bracket enter. Okay, I'll take all this out and I'll put it in there because if I need this again, I need to be able to just call this. Now if I write in there display one product bracket, that's fine, I've called it. Problem is it doesn't know what one product is, so I need to somehow pass in my one product pointer. So if I type in there one product, it's going to pass in the pointer into there, and it doesn't like it because I've not got one written here. Okay, so if you remember in class we did by value and by reference. If I pass something by value, it passes a copy of that into the procedure and it can't be altered in its original location. If I wanted to alter it in its original location, I would have done it by reference. So if I say by val, product as product type, okay, I'm expecting, let's call it one product, let's make it right. It's expecting one product as a product type. That's what it's expecting to get in, and that's exactly what it is getting right here. Okay, so now they're all happy. I'll just see if this actually works. I don't think there's don't think there's anything else for us to do. Oh yes there is. What have I not done? Step 3. I always forget. File close. 1. Okay. And what happens if it fails what happens if it fails this? I need to tell them, don't I? I can't just leave them hanging. I'll just say message box invalid record number, speech mark. Let's just test this. Let's see if this works. So record number, I should have a number 1, shouldn't I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, stuff appeared. Excellent. So that means the parameter's working. The parameter inside the procedure call. That's good. And I've put in number 2 at position number 3. What's at position number 4? What's at position number 5? And what's at position number 6? Whee! Excellent. Okay, very good. And that looks like a good place again to call it the end of this video. In the next one, we'll tackle the finding of the product ID. I'll see you there.